This segment is sponsored by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Join us in preserving and protecting Tennessee's wildlife. All right, everybody, welcome back. You can call us here at 615-737-7767. We'll be glad to answer any question you might have about kayaking or whatever's going on in the great outdoors. I do want to say something before we get started. Brandon and I have been talking to you about baiting issues, okay? The baiting issues. Well, TWRA just released something on Facebook about baiting, and I think it's worth a try or worth going and looking at.
There's a lot of really good information.
See what they're having. But let me tell you something else too. You will learn a lot if you'll go and read the comment section too.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of comments made that made a lot of sense. Some didn't, but a lot of them did.
A lot more questions were answered throughout the comments
so
too.
I think what's happening is you're going to see hopefully some changes, because that law was in 1951 or 57.
Yeah, I was going to say
it's 51 or 57. Yeah. Okay, I can. It looked like a one, and it was. But it's either 1951 or 1957. This law came in effect. But TWRA states in the video, go check it out for yourself. Go look it up for yourself. It is worth it. I went and looked at it myself, and I was enlightened by what it had to say. And so, if we'll all do that, well, then we'll all be a little bit on the more advised side.
Everyone needs to be educated on. I mean,
it does.
You know, the more you can learn about anything. So,
but there is still some gray area, and I think they're going to try and clear it up. I think that's what TWR is trying to do, is get that cleared up so there's no question. But it's worth it to go check out that video. Of course, it's on Facebook, but look up Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, and it will give you all the postings that they've done. Check it out. It says Tennessee baiting issue. So go to it, check it out. All right? That was one of the things I wanted to bring up tonight. Yeah. We have with us Ryan Martin and Jim Flowers. Both of them are avid kayakers. Jim, of course, congratulations, by the way, one of our pro staffers, Jim Flowers, right here, also was Angler of the Year last year. And that's not an easy feat to do, because there's a lot of good competition out there.
A lot of luck, too.
A lot of luck, too. But now, another thing that I had that I was telling Ryan about is not only the issue of using your electronics to post a fish or get the right measurement and all that, and being able to do that, but there's so blooming many tournament trails, and it can get confusing. One's got one that lasts all month, and one's got one that lasts all week, and one's got one that lasts 3 days, and one's got one that all day long, and one's got all night long, all weekend. What do you do?
Well, first you need to determine what your end goal is. Do you want to just fish a few parking lot tournaments and have some fun? Or do you want to make state championship, or do you want to make national championship? Well, if you want to make state championship, there's ways to get there. There's certain trails that you can fish to earn points to get to state championship, and likewise to the national championship. You just really need to figure out what you want.
Is there a website, though, Jim, that you can go to determine what you want to do?
KBF.com.
KBF.com.
Kayakbassfishing.com.
Okay.
They're the nationwide tournament trail. Pretty much all the other tournament trails are stepping stones to get to their national championship.
Now, I understand that national championship's got a nice little purse string to it.
Next year, it's $100,000.
$100,000.
We need to start practicing.
Feel it now.
But you've got to qualify for it. So
all I got to do is beat you once.
Well, it may take a little more than that. There's some good anglers out there.
Tiger kayaker. But I'm serious. There is so many different trails. I mean, I've been on that KBF.com that you were talking about, but it's listed. There's so many trails.
So they have open tournaments for non-members, and then they have trail tournaments for members.
Okay.
And so if you're wanting to just get into it, you may try out an open tournament first and just see if that's something you feel like you can compete in. If you are an avid angler and you want to go big or go home, try out the trail tournaments and try to earn points to qualify for the championship.
Ryan, another question that a lot of people are asking Brendan and I, and that is, some of these tournaments you can go within a 50-mile radius of a pinpoint. Some you have to go to the ramp that everybody's at.
Yeah.
And then some is meet me at XYZ company parking lot, we'll all go from there. I mean, is that go towards the tournament trails? That's what I'm kind of asking. Is
so some of them do and some of them don't. Really, it depends on what, like Jim was saying, it depends on the actual tournament they're having that day. So some they'll have different, like we'll say, spins on how they do the tournament to kind of keep it fresh, but also to give it a little bit more challenging for people, like where everyone gets at one ramp and they all take off to a certain spot, you know, or they'll get it where you have that 50-mile radius and you have to be back for check-in, and after that, you know, they're not in. You're out. You're out. Little things like that is really how it boils down to.
It just changes it up so it's not redundant.
Yeah.
Okay, but and I can see. The thing I worried about was the 50-mile radius one. I mean, because you're talking, maybe go to a pond, you know, that's
well,
okay, I gotcha.
Now, when you use Tourney X, a photo on your cell phone has, when you take a photo, GPS coordinates are embedded in that photo. So as a tournament director, like when somebody submits a photo, it drops a pin on where you were. So if you weren't nowhere near a body of water, then they can look it up.
Right.
And we ran into some of that with the national championship. We had to go in and check and make sure somebody was where they said they were, and I mean, turns out they were.
Well, Brandon and I are going to be at Bill Dance's private pond. Everybody wants to see us.
Public waters only.
Hey, we got a couple of callers here, but let's go to line one. Is who we got here?
This is Mike.
Mike, how can we help you?
Question about Center Hill.
Yeah.
Their dam down there. How long is it going to be till they get it fixed?
So they actually started a new project.
And the dam and everything. I used to troll for walleye down there a long time ago.
Okay.
So I didn't know how long till they get the dam and everything, the bridge and everything fixed.
Okay.
Or troll for walleye again.
All right. Well, hold on just a second, Mike, and we're going to give you that answer. All right.
So they started a new project. There's two projects that's left on the Center Hill Dam and the satellite dam. So right now they're working on the satellite dam. They're reinforcing it, getting some updating some codes and stuff like that. And then the Center Hill Dam at the same time, there's generators inside. What they're doing is actually taking the old generators out and putting in new generators. To replace one generator takes 1 year. There's 3 of them in there. Yeah. However,
did they just start this one again?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So the nice thing though is when the generators are all put back in, at the edge of every blade is an actual notch where they insert oxygen into the water. So they're hoping that they won't have to use the slush gate so much. The slush gate on the Center Hill Dam is actually one of the most dangerous things to mess with down there when they're generating, and a lot of times they don't put on their website, hey, we're slushing at the same time as generating. Hopefully that answers your question. I'm thinking they told us, I mean, we're pretty good friends with the guys who run the Corps down there and TWR down there, and they told us 2018 is when it's supposed to be fully done. At this rate, I don't see that happening. It's probably going to be more like 2020, to be honest with you.
It's the best answer I've heard to that question.
You've waited 10 years.
The grass, Jim Flowers, is 4 foot tall. I'm ready for them to flood that stuff. All right, we have Brenda. Brenda, how can we help you tonight?
Yes, sir. I live in the country, and this is kind of new to me. But what is the time frame on hunting as far as deer, stuff like that? Is it when the sun goes down?
No, it's not. When the sun, it's when the sun comes up. It's 30 minutes actually before sunrise.
To 30 minutes after
to 30
sunset.
minutes after sunset.
Correct.
The season opener is always going to be the 4th Saturday in September. That starts deer season.
Right. But if you like 8 o'clock at night and you come like over a railroad trestle and you find a deer that's been beheaded,
Yep.
called a game warning?
Yes.
It's always a good idea.
Okay, hon.
Yes.
Thank you. And you know what? I just started watching y'all recently, and you're super awesome.
Well, thank you so much, Miss Brenda. We appreciate
You're
that.
awesome.
You're awesome. Right.
That's right.
My
You're
favorite
awesome
viewer.
for watching us.
Y'all have a good night.
Thank
You
you
too.
very much.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Bye.
And that was a great call. I like
It
calls
was.
like that. But wasn't it you and I that saw the deer the other day that they took the horns off of it?
Yes.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
were
we
driving
did.
down the road, Brandon and I said, look, Brandon, there's a dead deer on the side of the road. The horns were missing. The velvet antlers were gone. They just took a saw and cut just the horns off. Let's don't start stuff though that's
No,
making other people see this and they see it and they think, well, he did it. Why can't I?
I always try to give it the benefit of the doubt,
I do
hoping
too.
maybe somebody ran over it and just decided, hey, I tore my truck up, I'm gonna keep his antlers.
I'm gonna keep his antlers.
So I always try to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I do hate to see that.
Let me give
going
you
on.
all fair warning because you didn't even know this when I told you the other day. If you hit an animal on the Natchez Trace Parkway, leave it. Don't dare touch it. Leave it. You might have to drag it out of your bumper or something, but leave it. I'm telling you, I know. I
You
know.
were informed.
Yeah,
Right,
I've been informed. Leave it right there and on the Natchez Trace because they do not go by state laws.
Tip
That
of the
is
week right
federal. No, you're going to give our tip of the week. And by the way, our tip of the week is being brought to you by Davidson County Farmers Co-op. Miss Laura and all those folks. Oh, by the way, they've got rabbit hay or rabbit straw. Rabbit straw is what's called. And she told me to tell everybody about it. They've got rabbit straw that is actually good for the rabbits to eat. So, and it's $13 a bale, by the way. So if you got rabbits, you need a bale. Go check out Miss Laura at Davidson County Farmers Co-op right there on Dickerson Road. Jim, help us out. We need a good tip.
All right, I got a couple of small tips.
All right.
First tip is when you're kayak fishing, you're limited to a fairly small area as opposed to being in a bass boat.
Right.
So it is extremely important to slow down and pick that area apart to learn how to catch fish in that area without having to run across the lake to find fish. A wise person just once told me that you will run by way more fish than you'll ever catch in a lifetime. Slow down and figure out how to catch those fish.
That
You'll
is a
learn
great tip.
Very good.
All kinds of stuff.
That's a great tip.
The other tip is whenever, especially this time of year when bass are schooling, if you're in a tournament and you're catching schooling fish, most of the time those fish are within a quarter or half inch of each other. They're pretty well the same size. So when you're taking pictures for a tournament, it's easy for those pictures to just blur together and those fish to all look the same. So between every fish, take a picture of something, whether it's a blank board or a selfie or a picture of the sky or something to separate each fish in your gallery.
That's a good idea. Jim, thank you so much because I really like that first one. That was a good tip. Yeah. And he's right, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, we got to take a break. And when we come back, Tom Courtney's in the house again.
Oh, man. I can't wait.
Can you smell that roast beast?
I can't. Yeah.
We'll be right back with more Southern Woods and Water.